Yeah. What happened to boom, baby, boom? Oh, you're still sleeping. Oh, okay. And now it's a chill morning. I didn't understand. Yeah. I don't understand. What you saying? Let's go back to sleep. Look at that morning coffee. Where's that morning joy? Coming soon. Morning motivation. Mark Saints into addiction every morning. Going live. My energy level's a little bit higher than this when she's done sleep and then late nights, early mornings. I blame her. You know, guilty. Oh, guilty face. Oh, yeah. Looks like it. And this morning we're having a chill morning. I really don't have any subject to talk about, which is rare. Kind of having like, when you think about it, morning motivation. One of them I'd like to talk to is the bad boy effect. Can we talk about that? Bad boy effect? Maybe I should have called it that, but dude arguing, the dude that tried to fight me was arguing last night, her best friend over here. And I was just like, what is that? This girl's so nice, beautiful Swedish girl, and she's with such a monster. And drug dealer, problem, he was trying to fight some Thai guy, which I think is a really bad idea in a business, just like you try to fight me in a business. I think he won't last here long, and Coach Chong. That shit don't work in Vegas either. We don't play. And like I was telling her yesterday, I don't play. I'm an ender, not a beginner. I don't start shit, I finish it. And we're very serious about that, you know. I like to sit here all chill and calm in the morning, but I will tell you the truth. I'm a very vicious animal. I think a lot of people forget their mammal side. You know, anybody fuck with your kids, you know, right? Look at your eyes got all big, like a lioness, you know. All of a sudden it was the hunt was on. You should see these eyes, you know, tiger eyes. Tiger eyes. Wow. Anyway. So she gave me the tiger eyes as soon as I said something about her kids. You know, everything has something to protect. Yeah. We're trying to protect vibes. You know, trying to protect energies. And it goes to show, I said it makes psychological sense that these girls date guys that can protect them from guys like them. So these are girls that like, I don't know, serial killers or bikers, gangsters. Thanks for the like. If you don't mind subscribing, I'd appreciate it. And one of the dangerous things, and I'm glad I'm having this conversation this morning with this beautiful being, is like we like to date familiarity. And that's something that people don't like to say. I tell this story often, but I'll say it again. You know, my mom went with my dad to go pick up some beer and some tobacco for my grandpa, her father. Her father, my grandfather, was a pack-a-day smoker. He died at 52 years old. I was only 10 years old when this man died. Killed the whole patriarchy. And I had he had 5 daughters, which are my mom and my aunts, you know. And I had no uncles. And it just killed everything, you know. Like, he was such a figurehead. And when he died at 52, which is only 7 years away from me, he was drinking rum and coke every day, and smoking a Camel pack every day. Massive heart attack. My reason for telling you this is my mom went to the store, and my dad like, I'll go. And my dad picked up his chew, his tobacco, and his beer, his alcohol. So my mom dated her dad. Me. I almost did the same last year, dating some chick that was always mediocre isn't enough, driving me crazy, being bipolar like my mother. I was dating my mom. Dude, can you believe that? That you would date something that you swear you would never, ever be like, you know? And then all of a sudden when we grow up, guess what we start doing? We start fucking our parents. Yeah, put that in your hat. Put that in your hat. Yeah, put that in your hat. Think about that. Well, I saw a movie once where there were 2 couples and their parents were in the bed with them. Not with them, but like talking for them. So their conservative mother, their rebellious father. We sleep with our parents in our bed. We don't see it. My mom didn't see it. It was going right in front of her face. Boop, boop, boop. Didn't see. I'm dating my father. abusive, alcoholic, tobacco addicted, fuckaholic. My dad would tell you to your face, I'm alcoholic, workaholic, fuckaholic. That's what he was. That's all he did his whole life. Work, fuck, and drink. And that's all he got. You know, he lost his family doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he still got the kids, my brothers and sisters, but man, and none of us are married. 4 kids, none of us are married. What does that say? My both parents are divorced. And there it goes to show you. You repeat patterns. It's a chill morning, but what's up with the Swedish girl? Why does she want to date a bad guy? Was her dad that way? You know, we don't see these things. We don't see them at all. We just right in front of us, going through the shopping mall and go, oh, these are my habits. These are the foods I eat. This is who I am. Yeah. This is the places I shop. This is my habits. And they're in front of us. And it's so bad. It's so pervasive. This means it's in everything, dude. It's like everywhere you look, people are walking with thoughts and ideas from their parents. We can't see it, but it's in them. Even you have different customs. You know, you talk different English, and you're from Belgium, and you keep going, my country, my country. I'm like, this small little country? Nobody has these habits.
And that's good.
Go ahead. Yeah.
If you look like my parents.
Maybe. Does your dad have a beard? No facial hair in your family?
No.
Okay. You know? Dude.
No alcoholics.
Yeah, no alcoholics,
no.
Right? No addicts?
No.
No? So you just like dating bad boys too? But do you have addictions? Maybe. You see that accountability disappear? Yeah. But I see it, you know. I mean, as you say, why do I date you? It's just more for feelings and emotions and connections. But you know, I have to go deeper and ask the questions. It's like, what do you remind me? Yeah, nothing to repair. But what do you remind me of? What about you as you sit here is something that's inside me that I chase? Thank you for saying hi, guys. Welcome to the show. We're having a deep convo about, you know, life and why we date the people that we date and why we do some of the things we do. Our actions are repeatable, you know, like there's something where you go like, if this is my habit, kind of like your coffee in the morning, it'll be there. And then you wonder why it's there. It's because you chased it. You can't be possibly unaware of your actions coming from something that you might not even be conscious of, right? Like this is something that's really deep shit, dude. And you get free will, so you get to choose who you date, but we're always shocked and go like, what was I doing there? You know what I mean? Like, what was I thinking and why was I doing it? And then you have to ask yourself that question. You know, you gotta ask yourself, why am I acting this way? And why are my habits this way? I want to smoke. We smoke together. More motivation, baby, you know? And I don't know, man. I don't know. I was shocked at myself. I had a psychologist 2 years ago, and after losing the baby, I had to talk to somebody and, you know, make sure, you know, things were straight in my head, you know? And I was like, holy shit, I'm dating my mom. Fucking scary. Why would I seek out a bipolar woman that would literally make me feel mediocre and like nothing was ever good enough? You know? I'm like trying to impress my mom. You know? And maybe I'm hyper successful and keep chasing glory moments like, you know, smoking weed with Mike Tyson and Snoop Dogg and hanging out with Mark Echo, like I was telling you, to impress my dad. I'm back on the high dive again. When I was a kid, I was like, hey dad, I'm jumping off the high dive. Maybe 8 years old, I'll never forget, and I went so hard my stomach turned green. I did a belly flop. I didn't do from the high dive. My dad jumps in and gets me out. It's the only time my dad's ever showed me he cares of me, yeah? And he was scared. You could see it in his face, you know? And I got out of the water and I could see him going in, and I'm just like, oh, you know what I mean? Oh, but I'm good, but oh, you know what I mean? And this show of affection from my father was so rare, you know, that it took me almost dying to get him to notice me. We do these things, like, notice me, Dad. please approve of me, approve of my decisions, approve of my lifestyle, approve of my accomplishments. And when I go there back to Las Vegas and I meet my father, he calls it a walkabout. And I got mad at him. I said, don't let the words come out of your mouth. And I told him this: world travel. Let the words come out of your mouth. It's 3 times around the world, bro. And it's not just a walkabout. He tried to minimize my accomplishment. And I was like, just because you never went anywhere doesn't mean I didn't go around the world 3 times, He's got me like an aborigine in Australia walking a walkabout in the desert. It's not a walkabout, homie. It's world travel. So that kind of domination, this kind of minimization or the reflection, of deeper relationships,
Relationship.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this and I'm going, it is abusive. And then it's like, I end up never feeling like I've done enough, so I keep chasing more things, and then the compliments just don't pay off. And then I feel like I'm not doing enough, and then it's always a vicious cycle. So a lot of us are captured in vicious cycles, dating people that we shouldn't be dating, or repeating habits that are deadly to us, and it's pervasive. It's in everything, and I see it, and I try to see with maybe last night we were watching this movie called Spectral, about these spirits and shit. And it's a sci-fi movie, but they couldn't see these ghost-like figures. They had to get a special light to see these guys. And if we had a special light or a DARPA, laser beams, or maybe even glasses, rose-colored glasses, as we say, rose-tinted glasses. She lost her sunglasses; they were pink. But if we were to look at these things and see the depression of their mother or the aggression of their father, you can't see that in somebody. You can't visualize their loneliness or the battle that's going on inside of them. You can't see these things. But promise you, they're in everyone. It's just everyone. And we're all making decisions off of them. That's the scary part. So 80% of our decisions are made out of feelings. And if we feel a certain type of way, then that's the way we're going to follow. And it's just that, big decisions, come visit me in Vegas, you know what I mean? Now all of a sudden it's possible all the way from Belgium because you want something more, If you want it, yeah. All of a sudden things become possible. And that's what I'm talking about. The possibilities of life, the possibilities of decision. I'll use your old napkin. And I was just shocked by it. I literally was just looking at it, and this guy's fighting right outside my door. It just so happens to be her best friend over here. And all of us came out, and we're like, there's no fighting in Koh Chang. There's 3 of us. Miko came down, I came out, we came out, and it's like, what are you doing, bro? And then he quickly, examined the situation. It was like, maybe I shouldn't be fighting right now because I'm outnumbered. Yeah, you're outnumbered, and you're out of pocket, and you probably should be dating this guy, Morning motivation. Cannabis and coffee. But that's what I saw last night. It was just like, man, we have free will to make these decisions, but damn, dude, if it's not the accountability of it after we make the decisions, it's like, I did decide to date that guy. I did decide to go to Vegas. And why did I choose this person? And most people would say it felt so good. It was such a perfect match. It was such a connection. But it's deeper than that. I mean, obviously it's a match. But why? Why you? She's taller than girls that I normally date. She's taller than me, but I don't care. Not 1 second I've ever cared. Huh. Even getting up to her, kiss her beautiful lips. Yep. And a foreign girl, dating a foreign girl, I've never told her this, but some of her value systems that we talk about maybe in if you're a passport bro or trying to date American women, she, by nature, likes helping me find a charger port for my laptop, or handing me a joint, or rolling one, or, being of assistance, being of service, and being a plus than a minus. And then the other girls, they start off in the minus in America, where it's like, what kind of car do you drive, and how much money you make? Right, so I'm already in a deficit to meet someone. Instead of getting to meet them and get to know them, it's what can you do for me? Yeah. So the value systems have changed. Dating a European woman is completely different than dating an American woman, for sure. I remember one time I had a Thai girlfriend or a Thai girl come by the house, And she literally made the bed, did the dishes, and cleaned the floor by the time I got out of the shower. And I was like, you would never have a Western woman do that. This Western woman makes beds, you know? Only bed. Yeah, she's like, fuck those dishes. Look at her eyes. I saw your eyes. Do you cook? Do you cook? So that's a very interesting thing to see your motivation in front of you and see why you chase the things that you do. You know, why do I chase t-shirts? You know, well, I told you I saw a t-shirt shop when I was a kid and a skate shop, and I was like, ooh, this is dope. I had a passion for fashion. And I chased after it. You know? Why did I choose fashion? I was selling cars, you know? But for me, when I was selling cars, I could only sell, what if you wanted, if I'm only selling Toyotas, what if you wanted a Ford? You know? T-shirts, it didn't matter. I could sell all things. It didn't matter because I could sell a long sleeve or a hoodie. You know? I didn't have to worry about what brand I was selling or what I was pushing. Everybody wears shirts. So that means now everybody's in my market and I can talk to everybody about this. That's what I thought.
I understand now why I dated my ex.
Now she knows. And all of a sudden makes sense. And a lot of people do this, what she just did with that. Oh shit, I do see some things. And it sucks because you didn't go to college. You didn't get a college degree in psychology. You didn't get to learn about human evolution and the development of fetuses and why our brains work the way that they do. I spent 2 semesters learning about baby development. By the time it was done, I was like, I could have a baby. But the development of a human being's brain, especially when the girls are running around in the morning, you know, learning English, and it's Sunday and it's a super chill day, yeah. You know, their development, watching Sai be aggressive with the other kids and not having a mother, and you can see the angst in her. She can't see that angst yet. She didn't go to college. You didn't see why you dated your ex. We need aha moments. We need rose-tinted glasses to get lifted up and go, oh, that's why I did that. When I first went to college, I wanted to go to college to be an engineer. Why did I want to be an engineer? Because it was my dad's boss. You know, I want to be my dad's boss. And I didn't like the math, so I switched to psychology. But it was a lot of math, you know, and I wasn't up for the task. But it was like, why am I chasing this? And the reason is to beat my father, you know? You know, I want to beat him at everything he did. Travel, family, money, you know? You want to kill the last king. And it's always this for the son, the next born to be the next king, is you have to outdo the last king, right? You got to do better tax programs. You got to have better public facilities. You got to build a bigger pyramid. You don't believe me? Go to Egypt. There's bigger pyramids. Why? Because he built a bigger pyramid than his dad, right? A bigger statue, something, you know? So, you know, we're always trying to outdo our dads or compete with them pseudo-ly, you know? It's like a reverse psychology, but you maybe not know it. But it's good to be aware of it. You know, it's good to be aware that you're like, oh shit, I'm in like a pseudo competition with my father. And maybe I'm doing these things to get his acknowledgement. And maybe, just maybe, he might tell me that he loves me instead of fuck off. Ooh, I talk about real shit on my show. And we don't even talk. So it's one of those things where his relationship with his father got dissolved. Me and his relationship got dissolved. I hope when I have a child that it won't be dissolved. You know, I have to watch these things so I don't bleed them into my children. You already have children. What kind of things have you changed about yourself where you're like, I don't want this to keep going?
With my children?
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything.
No games with violence.
No violent games?
No
Okay.
violent games. Hug habits.
Oh.
Say I love you every day.
Ah.
No violence.
More love, less violence.
Yeah, my son never fight to get each together. Never. And my sister and me always.
Ah.
You know, and I say when I have children, I do something different.
Yeah.
And I do my
Yeah.
best, and it works.
And you have, and it's working.
It's working. So
I hope
when you
so
have
too.
a whole family, you want the best.
Yeah. And isn't that interesting? When it's your kids, you alter your character, you change your behavior, and it becomes more important, right? When it's you, you're partying your ass off, you're doing bad drugs, and you're not doing I love you as much. But for kids, when we see kids, we want them to have a brighter future. We want these children to have clean environment and safety, and for sure, 1,000%. And we want their lives to improve. Like they say, don't do as I would do. You know, we doing these things, so many drugs, so much addiction and abuse, but we don't want that to continue. You know, you don't want them to date the wrong person, right? Right now she's 5 years old. In about 10 years, she's gonna date a guy, and you don't want it to be the biker. You don't want it to be the crazy Turkish. You don't want it to be somebody that's going to hurt her. And these are decisions she's going to have to make. In less than a decade, she'll be of age to make those decisions for herself. Without an education, without a college degree, she's gonna have to go into the real world and see why, you know, like we all do. Why did I date that guy? And why did that happen in this situation, right? You know, we do these things and it happens and we go like, only with age can we go, oh, I made that decision that way. You know, only with time can we say, oh, I see what I was doing there. You know what I mean? And that's just self-examination. That's just life. And when you get enough life experience, it's a shame that you have no life experience when you're young. But you have all the life experience when you're old, but you don't have a body to do anything with it. So this is kind of a catch-22, but there it is, you know. With longevity, you get experience, but you also run out of time to use that experience. It sucks, but it's true. This is life. You start off not knowing anything, wanting to grow up faster, can't wait to get older, and as soon as you're older, can't wait to lie about your age and keep yourself as young as possible. It's a funny thing, but that's what we are. We are funny human beings that do all sorts of funny little things that we have full control over, but we didn't know that we were making that big of a decision. We didn't know that we were gonna date someone that was just like our mom or our dad. We didn't know that we were doing things that were in cycle and out of habit, and only because it was familiar to us. And then we get surprised when we learn the hard way about red flags and compatibility and situations that don't work for us. Then we're like, oh shit, okay, got you. Maybe that's why I should wait 6 months to vet somebody before I fall in love with them or tell them that I love them or do any of those things. We say me too, but it's not it's not something you can just throw around. It's not something it's just growing on a shelf that you can just buy. It's something that you have to grow yourself from the inside and find it with experience, and you go, okay, you know, maybe I don't rush so much into love this time. Not like 2 years ago when I had 2 girls pregnant at the same time. She knows. And wasted all my time. I was driving by and I was like, this is where my ex used to live. There's Michelle's old place. And I swear I thought I almost saw her on a bike, just kind of all mad with that curly blonde hair. And I was like, it kind of scared me. And it was just like, would we ever talk again? And would I ever see her again? And now I'm with someone else, and it's a whole new season. And it's almost like new season, new girl. But I learned from it, wasting so much time on heartache and fighting and fake love and running around this island, chasing it, when instead of being here and enjoying it. Lesson learned. So now we go somewhere new every day. We enjoy the beach. Yesterday went to Soul Beach. It's a high-end beach. Really kind of high-end, fancy. Ordered some sushi, ate it at sunset, and had another perfect day. You know, that's what I want to do. I want to enjoy. If it was the other girl 2 years ago, we would have found a way to fight, skip the sushi, skip the fucking, and would have just kept fighting all day. And figuring out a way to fix this relationship, try to appease my mom by appeasing her. It was weird. I tried to build a relationship off of fear. Fear that I was getting older, fear that I might not have children, and fear that I might not ever get married. I tried again, missed last season, and it didn't work. I wasn't sympathetic enough. I didn't love her enough to give her the sympathy that she needed. And I'm kind of glad, and I think she's kind of glad that she didn't have children with me, you know? She wanted something more. She needed a younger man, someone who didn't cheat on her and try to have children with someone else and ask her to marry him. She deserved that. That's why I stopped fucking with her. She told me, how's this gone on so long? And I was just like, that was the last thing she basically told me, you know? Like, wow, how has this lasted so long, this relationship? Long distance, cheating, no sympathy. And that was my last relationship, and I didn't date anyone for a long time. I didn't want to. I felt like my heart was open, and this woman showed up. And it's been so cool to just smoke weed with her, make love with her, and go to all these new places that I just kind of opened a space. I wouldn't call love. I wouldn't jump all the way in it, and I wouldn't be addicted to it. But just open up a space to touch someone again, make love again, and be alive again, and have some sort of feelings. It's enough for me. You know, it's enough for me. And I don't have to replace my mother, and I don't have to impress my father, and I don't have to repeat these cycles again. I don't have to jump into a new relationship and make it all about drama and call that love. You know that toxic love that you end up doing. What do they call it? They call it trauma bonding. You know, I don't want to trauma bond with someone. I want to love someone. Nice and easy. Chill on a Sunday. Chill morning, just like we're having right now. And that's what I decided to do. So fuck all the drama. Fuck the repetitious behavior. You know, fuck those bad habits. Tell them to go chill, sit in the corner, and now you're going to make better decisions off of experience and say, you know what, I've learned from my mistakes, and I want to make better decisions from here on out. That's when you become a self-master, you know? That's when you master the game, level up, and change. And that's this morning's motivation. If you got anything out of it, you already know. Like, share, and subscribe below. Do yourself the favor of self-examination. Why do you chase the things that you do? And make sure that they're important to you. Make sure that they're worth a decade of chasing, 15 years, and it's been all worth it. Now the models are wearing my clothing, and they're beautiful, and they're all around the world, and I'm making money while I'm overseas, and my business is working. I hope I get this other deal because I made $2,000 off these guys last time, and they just hit me up like, hey, we need the exact same thing again. Boom, baby, boom. Let's go. Where you at? You know, where you at? Let's go make some more money overseas so I can keep eating sushis at sunsets at Soul Beach, so I can live this lifestyle at a high rate and not care if I spent 1,000 baht. I was down to my last 500 baht and didn't even have any money, and that was only about a week ago. No love, no money, poor, broke, and lonely. And next thing I know, I'm full of love, I'm full of money, and full of life. It took a week. It woke up a girl who was wasted in the bar, jumping all over every guy in 10 guys' arms, bumping into people, and I'm apologizing. And then she went home with someone else, and I was like, I deserve better. And I got better. By New Year, I was already dating and making love to somebody that really knows how to make love to me. Those are the things that I see, you know, and really wants to support me and wear my brand and take pictures and make me look good. So I got a muse, I got a model, and a girlfriend all at the same time. What a blessing. So, you know, your boy Saint, really living his high life and really wondering what had happened, especially after 2 years ago in the relationships on this island, and to see my relationships now and what I've learned. It's a whole night and day difference. You have to learn from your experiences. You have to level up, and you have to self-examine long enough to go, oh, that's what I was doing. I was wasting my time. I was chasing drama and calling it love, and I was confused and all over the place and making bad decisions, and that's the truth. So I learned, you know, I learned. And that's important, is that you level up and learn. And that's this morning's motivation. So you already know, like, share, subscribe below. Peace and love. And as always, Chigatan. That means goodbye, but not forever, and finish. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe. But the other side of your fear, the other side of your excuses, even the other side of your blind spots, and the other side of the world, because that's where I'll be. Peace. Joy Week Club. Hey, baby. You want to say bye? Fresh. Let's go. Sunday.